Yes, people, what's going on? Arsenal fans are in meltdown, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't lost my head though. I'm staying calm. Calm. That's what I call for. Calm down. Everyone calm down. Now, I'm not here to spread copium, as people would say, trying to make people cope with the negatives. We can't lie to ourselves. We bottled a 2-goal lead again. We're throwing away points at this point. But it doesn't change anything. People are saying the league title's over. Arsenal have thrown away the league. You've bottled the league. You've crumbled. Arsenal crumble is coming out. No, that is not the case. And if you think that's the case, let me know in the comment section why you think that's the case. Because in my opinion, Arsenal have yet to throw away the title. Arsenal have yet to lose to City. Arsenal have yet to lose to somebody else in this running. Now, Arsenal are still sitting top of the table. And the same people who said to me, come 5 games into the league's not over until May. The league's not over until May and January. The league's not over until May and February. But now all of a sudden, because we're in April, the league's over. No, that's not accurate. Let's be real. The league table doesn't lie. Arsenal are still one of the best teams in this league. Arsenal have been still one of the best teams in the league. We've dropped points in back-to-back games, and it's unacceptable in the manner that which we dropped the points also. So we can't sit here and just say everything is fine. Everything's not fine. We dropped points in back-to-back games. We found ourselves slipping in the first time this season. And there's now a 4-point gap to Manchester City. But with that coming in, there's also news to some of our key players, like Zinchenko getting injured, William Saliba getting injured. Now, I'm not making excuses, but we're going to talk about them because they are significant injuries that we have to talk about. And I got a little update on both of them. So the league title race as it stands, we are currently 4 points ahead of City with a game in hand. And you know what? If they win that game in hand, we only have 1 point ahead of them. But regardless, it's still within our hands. The league title is still within our hands. As long as we get something from the City game, the league title is still within our hands. And potentially, if City drop points, we could still win it. But let me know what you guys think. Because there's people who've been laughing about Arsenal dropping points this whole season, but we suffer from something called flip-flop fans. Bro, I have honest mentality. It's not strong enough to Bro, we have to be honest. The mentality is not strong enough to beat City. We have to play Newcastle away. We see us winning those 2 games away. You don't see us winning those 2 games away. You know what? Maybe it's the heart speaking more than the head. Because I get where you're coming from. You're saying logically going away to City and going away to Newcastle are tough games. But the reality is you're making it almost seem like City are going to win every single game and they're not going to drop points. City are going to drop points eventually. That is going to happen eventually. This is not a situation where it is that. But you know what? This brings me to the first topic of the day. Because you guys are obviously so wonderful, and big up to everyone who's watching the channel. Make sure you do smash that like button, hit that subscribe button while you're at it. We got to talk about a couple things. First, we got to talk about the mentality we have to go into these next couple of games. Chin up, everyone. Chin up. The reason why I say chin up is because we need to get ourselves going. We need to get ourselves up. We need to get ourselves back into this race, and we cannot sit back and be upset at ourselves for too long. We need to get ourselves back up and going. We cannot sit here and just be like, you know what, we've conceded the lead, it's over, and cry about it. No, you got to get yourself back up. You can't be upset for too much longer. You have to know that, right? And the next thing, Bukayo Saka. We got to show some love to some of our players, because people scapegoating Bukayo Saka for missing a penalty. I get it. And he's even received racial abuse on Twitter. People are sick in the head giving the guy racial abuse. This is what I have to say for Bukayo Saka, ladies and gentlemen. We wouldn't even be in this title race if it wasn't for him in the first place. So chin up to Bukayo Saka, and let's support our players. Let's back our players. If you guys haven't seen, Bukayo Saka has taken this loss, and he's just gonna get better from it. Yo, Egal, big up. Hope you're doing well. I'm not doing so well. I'm a little under the weather, but hopefully you guys can cheer me up a little bit. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and maybe I can feel a little bit better on the way, right? But yeah, let's not talk about Saka, because last night, I'm not gonna lie to you, people were disgusting. It baffles me how so much people can call themselves Arsenal fans, but yet be on this guy so much. It's actually disgusting. He missed a penalty. These things happen. Then immediately after that, we score a goal. But this is what Bukayo Saka had to say in response to the penalty and everything that took place yesterday. This was Bukayo Saka's response, ladies and gentlemen. He said, on Instagram, he said, regardless the outcome, I'll always accept my responsibility and apologize to the Gooners. I do everything I can to make it right. Bukayo Saka is going to do everything he can in his power to make it right, ladies and gentlemen. He's not going to just sit there and take it. And you know what? It's not his fault. I don't blame him solely for yesterday. I feel like he is part of it because let's be honest, if he wouldn't scored that penalty, maybe we would have been able to win it a lot easier. But he's not the main person to criticize here. He's not the only person who deserves criticism in this situation. There's a lot of parties involved that can be criticized in this situation. Let's be real, right? Now let me just go to some of your comments in the comment section. Please do continue to submit your comments because this does. I like the engagement that you guys are doing today. You can miss a penalty. Hopefully Saka bounces back 100%. Hopefully he bounces back. Good afternoon, Egal. We all in this together 100%. Saka is our star boy. Saka is young and the kid is nervous. He needs help 100%. Maybe take him out the firing line and not start him against Southampton. We got yes, Egal, United Devils here, and man, always good content. I appreciate that. I was angry in the moment, but it's past because I understand it's all in the game. 100%. We drew yesterday on West Ham because we were poor management from Mikel Arteta. I don't blame him. I blame the experienced players for yesterday. You know what? I get that. I get people who blame the experienced players because the experienced players were to blame yesterday. The experienced players were to blame, but I feel like it was a collective. Mikel Arteta made some massive mistakes. As a whole team, we dropped. As a whole team, we dropped our heads and we became a shell of ourselves. This was unacceptable behavior from the team. We cannot expect ourselves to do anything and to win or to go anywhere with that kind of situation. Now, let me just tell you guys something about yesterday. If you guys don't already know, Kieran Tierney started yesterday. And a lot of people scapegoating Kieran Tierney. I think that's wrong. I don't think Kieran Tierney deserves to be scapegoated. And Kieran Tierney did start yesterday, and Zinchenko was on the bench yesterday. Zinchenko does have an injury. We're going to give you guys an update later in the video on Zinchenko's injury, of course, and William Saliba's. But after we lost 2-2, Martin Odegaard had this to say. He had a lot to say, actually. He had a lot to say. So these are some of the things that Martin Odegaard had to say yesterday after the thing. Mikel Arteta's substitutions were no one to blame. The penalties, Saka not absent, Saliba or Zinchenko. You know what? We're not going to make excuses. We have ourselves to blame. We only have ourselves to blame, and we're the ones that messed up. Egal, Arsenal is done. Tell the fans to give up. That's not true, Samir. Stop it. Bro, stop it, Samir. Stop lying to us. Stop it. Stop the BS, bro. A lot in the same time last week. Listen, to people like Samir Salah here who are saying it's over, give up, tell the people the truth. It's not over. It was not over in January. It was not over in February. Now, all of a sudden, in April, we drop points back-to-back games. People want to say it's over. We're still at the top of the table. We still, even if City win their game in hand, we still have it in our hands. And if we get something away from City, all of a sudden, everyone's going to say Arsenal's going to win it again. We live in a world where people are just flip-flops and they go whichever way the sun wants to take them. Personally, for me, I'm not going to get drawn into that. I don't believe it. I don't believe that yet. I still believe we can win it. I still believe we can do it. And I'm going to continue to believe that until I see evidence that it's not possible to do it anymore. Now, Martin Odegaard had a lot to say yesterday with Sky Sports. He basically saying that we started to play stupid balls and we allowed them to play long balls. Then he also had to say about Bukayo Saka. He's been brilliant all season, clinical and from the spot, but it was not his day today. And then he also had this to say on the lads being down for on the lead being down to 4 points. We remember still being top of the league. Everything is in our hands. Same mindset, same mentality. On to the next one. 110%. Big up to the captain right there. That is a very important point right there. It's still in our hands. On to the next one. Martin Odegaard is 100% accurate right there. It is still in our hands. We need to stop all this feeling down, feeling bad for ourselves, feeling down for ourselves. It's not over. We haven't thrown it away yet. People saying, "Oh, you threw it away against Thing." Yeah, we threw away a 2-goal lead twice. But is it over? No, it's not over. It's not remotely close to being over. But yeah, here's what Mikel Arteta had to say yesterday, because Mikel Arteta had a lot to say also. Very disappointed. We started out superb. but we were in control, and then we lost purpose. We gave them hope and conceded a terrible penalty. Credit to them. We got on a roller coaster, everything going down, corners, throwing in, never got away from us. The purpose we need for the third or fourth goal didn't see it. On Bukayo Saka's penalty, anyone who takes a penalty, I don't know anyone who hasn't missed. Basically, anyone who takes a penalty who misses penalties, he doesn't know anyone who's taken penalties who doesn't miss. So basically saying penalty takers have the risk of always missing. And on whether the title race pressure has gone up a few notches, it's the same. We don't know how many notches there are in a few months ago, but we can control it. Basically saying that, once again, everyone in unison, that we can still control our destiny. And I think people need to calm down a little bit. And little people need to calm down. We can still win the league. 100% we can still win the league. I'm less confident City with Rob Holding in defense. We're going to have to talk about that. Is Rob Holding going to be in defense? Will William Saliba be back in time for that game? We're going to need to find out what's going to happen with that. But yesterday there was a lot of conversation around what Roy Keane and Gary Neville had to say. If you guys don't know, Roy Keane and Gary Neville had a lot to say yesterday about Arsenal, and I need to know what you guys think. Who's right, Roy Keane or Gary Neville? Let me know what you guys think. Who is right, Roy Keane or Gary Neville? And I'm going to tell you guys what they said. So you let me know in the chat who you think is right, and I'm gonna now throw it over to the two comments here from Roy Keane and Gary Neville and show you guys what they said. So yesterday, when speaking about the league, Roy Keane and Gary Neville both had different points on this. So Roy Keane said that if Arsenal finish ending up second, it would be a terrible season for them. Where Gary Neville, on the other hand, said if Arsenal finished second, it would have been an incredible season for them. So I want to know what you guys think. Who's right in this situation? Is it going to be a bad season, or is it going to be a good season? Incredible season. Because Gary Neville is defending Arsenal here, saying that if Arsenal do win the league, he considers if Arsenal don't win the league and they finish second, he still considers it a good season. Where you have other people saying the exact opposite, where if Arsenal finish what do you call it, somehow in the league finish outside of league champions, Gary Neville is saying it's a bad season and you should consider it a bad season. That's where he lies with this right now. I just want to know what you guys think. Do you think Gary Neville's right, or do you think Roy Keane's right? And in my opinion, from Gary Neville and Roy Keane's statement, the truth lies somewhere in the middle. If we finish the season second, you can't sit here and say it's an incredible season. But at the same time, you can't sit here and say it's a terrible season. Based on the fact that Arsenal were competing this season and pushing themselves as league title challengers, it is something to say, you know what, showing massive progression, and the progression should be celebrated. We should not sit here and now just belittle all the progression that we've made. But of course, if we don't get over the line, there's a case to be made that we shouldn't be celebrating coming second. We shouldn't be happy about coming second. And no one will be happy if we do come second. No one will be happy if we do come second and we don't win the league. No one will be sitting here saying, I'm happy that we bottled the league, or I'm happy that we finished second. No, you're going to say to yourself, we could have won, we could have done more, and hence why I'm quite upset that we didn't get over the line. That's where I stand, at least. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to get to your comments in a second. But for me, I think out of Roy Keane and Gary Neville's statements, I think they're both incorrect. I think to just make it so hot and cold is a little bit naive. To make the statements just so hot and cold is a little bit is a little bit too much. I think you can sit here and say Arsenal have had an incredible season based on the fact that we've competed, but at the end of the day, to sit here and say we've had a terrible season because what we end the season trophyless and we have nothing to show for it. You can't sit here and say it's a terrible season. Based on the progression from the previous years, we progressed. It's an improvement from the last couple of years. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, our goal was Champions League football from the beginning. No. Yes, you could say that was our goal at the beginning of the season, but we already met that objective halfway through the season, being top of the league. Seeing other people drop off, we've already met that objective. We already knew that we were going to meet that objective. It's not a big deal. I'm going to just sit here and say, I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys think. For me, I side more. You're gonna be shocked here. But if I had to pick one of the two, I side more with Gary Neville. I would say it's an incredible season, but we fell short of our goal. Where Roy Keane saying it's been a terrible season, or it's been a terrible season for them. No, I'm not going to sit here and say it's been a terrible season. I think Gary Neville's right on this one. I think Gary Neville's right. I'm not going to now celebrate finishing second. I'm not now saying we should be happy finishing second, but that's just my take on it. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Is Gary Neville right, or is Roy Keane right? People saying Roy Keane's right. People saying Gary Neville's right. Big up Kabak in the chat. My guy, Kabak in the chat. Also, guys, if you want to become channel members, you can become a channel member. I do have the membership programs in the chat, and I'm going to throw that in the chat right now just so you guys can see it and you can become a thing. Egal, I know you'd side with Gary Neville, because I'm not going to sit here and say the season has been terrible. Although it is disappointing that we could throw away the league having an 8-point advantage, or however many points we had an advantage over City. It isn't disappointing. I thought for sure we were going to win this league, no problem. I thought we might even have it wrapped up going into the Chelsea game. But it just seems like it's going to be something that goes down to the wire. It's going to be a lot closer than I expected. Egal, mate, you were Arsenal's last season. This is the second season. You could be first. You were Arsenal last season, and to this season, then are first. You know what? If Arsenal finish second, it will be a superb season for you, in my opinion. Okay. So some people saying agreeing with Gary Neville. Some people agreeing with Roy Keane. Some people agreeing with Gary Neville. Spot on. Roy Keane is just a hater. Big up, big up. So what would you say if you met Gary Neville? Bro, I would be nice. I would be nice. I would be very nice. I would tell him I disagree with a lot of his opinions, but he would probably understand that himself. Gary Neville would probably understand that I would disagree with a lot of his opinions as an Arsenal fan. Why would I agree with him? You guys know Gary Neville himself would know that Arsenal and thing don't get along. But big up to everyone from Never a Foul. Shout out to the viewers from Never a Foul who are joining us right now. Shout out to all you guys. Big up to Kaz and Daps and everyone over there who sent over everybody. Big up to everyone in the chat. I can see some of you City fans. Make sure you do smash that like button. So far, what we've spoken about is Bukayo Saka. We've spoken about Mikel Arteta. We've spoken about Gary Neville and Roy Keane, and what you guys think about who's defending who in that situation. But the next thing I wanted to talk about is kind of interesting. Livs posted something, and it was a situation where Xhaka actually spoke about Arsenal, and I think it was Chris Wheatley who tweeted it out. So this is very weird, very weird. So Granit Xhaka has a show somewhere. He has his own thing. Gary Neville is basically backhanded complimenting. Well done, pat on the head. You know what? That could be true. That could be true. He could mean it as an insult. Never know. But yeah, Granit Xhaka. If anyone thinks that we are going through the last 8 games without dropping any points or winning and just smashing teams, I think you're not in the right position. Oh, so Granit Xhaka calling people out for having unrealistic expectations. Granit Xhaka calling people out for having unrealistic expectations, basically saying that if you think we're going to go the rest of the season without winning, you need to get your head checked out. That's quite surprising. I would have thought Granit Xhaka would have just said something PR positive, but he went in on everybody. He went in. He literally saying, get your head checked out. He basically said, get your head checked out if you think Arsenal's going to go undefeated from now until the end of the season. That's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't know William Saliba is Muslim. You know what? I didn't even know that either. When I seen the William Saliba Muslim stuff, I was like, whoa. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, people, let me show you guys. William Saliba. Let me show you guys the William Saliba stuff, because I didn't know William Saliba was Muslim either. I found out by seeing the images on Twitter. I seen the images on Twitter and I was like, whoa, William Saliba's Muslim? Crazy. But yeah, so William Saliba was spotted at Tarawih. William Saliba was spotted at Tarawih in London, near the Arsenal Stadium in London, Coney. Just if you guys don't know, it's the month of Ramadan. So during the month of Ramadan, people go to the mosque, and especially at night, there's night prayers for where everyone's gathering to pray from in between the fourth and fifth prayer of the night. So everyone's there, and I didn't know William Saliba was Muslim. A lot of people were shocked to find out that William Saliba was Muslim, but the guy is in Tarawih. And just to give you guys a quick little update on everything that's going on with William Saliba, I'm gonna give you guys that update right now because I don't know if you guys know, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Now, from what I seen earlier today, the reports coming out on William Saliba's injury is that they're looking at William Saliba's injury and they're saying it could be a long-term injury. It could be an injury where William Saliba's out for until the end of the season. That's until the final game of the season. I mean, like he's out for City. Unfortunate news, but William Saliba most likely will be out versus Manchester City. He will most likely be out versus majority of the games. He'll definitely be out versus Southampton. So with injury updates on Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, and William Saliba, the William Saliba news is the worst of them all. The William Saliba news is the worst of them all because it seems like he's definitely going to be out. Now, I'm going to just tell you guys to the extent that he's going to be out, but brace yourselves. Brace yourselves. Let me just... Yeah, no, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. Egal. So he's fasting then. He might be. No Saliba is peak. Bro, fam, it is. It definitely is. Here's what the article states. Now, this is from the Evening Standard. If you guys don't know, from the Evening Standard, and the article is written by Mark Mayo. So I'm not sure how connected Mark Mayo is within the Arsenal fan base. But what he's written is that Arsenal hope to see William Saliba back in training after suffering his injury against Sporting a month ago. But the trip to Manchester City looks like it's come too soon for the center back. And the final game of the season is currently his target to return for Arsenal. Last week, Mikel Arteta assured us on the latest update that he's progressing well, but we're hopeful we'll see him available in the next few weeks. We'll see. We'll have to see. But the article here specifically states that Arsenal are hoping to see William Saliba back in training soon, but the trip to Manchester City looks likely. I like it to come too soon for the center back, and he'll most likely be back. His current target is the final game of the season. That is what the update is on William Saliba. Now, that's peak, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Without William Saliba, our defense just doesn't look good enough. Without William Saliba, there's no other way to write it. Without William Saliba, our defense does not look as solid. Our defense does not look as good. We don't keep as many clean sheets. We concede much more goals. Saliba is crucial for us. We cannot be playing holding, but we need to find other solutions. We need to find other ways to get the team going. Now, I've seen a lot of people coming out with solutions, like my guy Kieran. I've seen him tweet out something. So I just wanted to show you guys what you guys thought about this team here. So what he did was he would play Fabio Vieira, Xhaka, and Odegaard in the midfield. He would play Partey right back, Ben White, Gabriel center halves, and Zinchenko left back, and have a situation. This is some of the solutions people are trying to come up with. Play Partey on the left, play Xhaka DM, and have Odegaard, Fabio Vieira midfield with Xhaka. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if Mikel Arteta is gonna do this. I don't know. He might put in Jorginho and instead of Fabio Vieira, and have Xhaka, Jorginho, Fabio Vieira, and Partey right back. Because if you don't remember, Partey did sub on as a right back versus Crystal Palace. It's peak, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's peak at this point. It's very peak. I don't know what to say. We need to find solutions. We need to find solutions because Rob Holding, as much as he was doing good the first couple of weeks, we can't trust him. We can't trust the guy. He's just not trustworthy. He's just not trustworthy enough to be playing week in, week out. And why did we buy KVR? Because KVR is supposed to be cover for Gabriel. KVR is supposed to be cover for Gabriel. He's not a right-sided center back. We bought him as a left-footed center back to play on the left side. Saka has to be benched too. We'll talk about that. Saka, eventually, we're going to have to bench him. And I think he does get benched for Trossard in the next game. Trossard fit in to the mid. I don't know if we're going to play Trossard as a midfielder. That's just the thing. Trossard is more of a striker or a winger rather than a midfield. I don't think we look at Trossard as a midfielder at this moment in time. That's just not the position he's meant to play. Now, just to give you guys updates on other players' injuries, Tomiyasu has been ruled out for the season. Just to let you guys know. So Tomiyasu has been ruled out for the season. Tomiyasu will be missing the rest of the season. No question about that. Tomiyasu will not be back at any point this season. Tomiyasu is out for the rest of the season. Done. Like, you're not going to see Tomiyasu from now until next year, most likely. But Zinchenko, on the other hand, Zinchenko might be available versus Zinchenko might now be available versus Southampton. Now, people are saying excuses. Egal, would you swap Joe Gomez for Rob Holding? The thing is, I don't want just anybody. I want somebody better. So it's not a situation where I rate Joe Gomez. So I'm not going to take Joe Gomez because I don't rate the guy. I think Joe Gomez is not that good. So why would I go for somebody who's not as good? If I want cover, I need somebody better. And KVR, he's been here only a little bit, but we might be looking at a player that we need to move on very soon if he doesn't get much game time next season. Talking about Zinchenko, let me give you guys a quick update on Zinchenko now. Quick update on Zinchenko. This is the update on Zinchenko, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to show you guys what it says. Zinchenko has a groin injury and has been ruled out versus West Ham after the Ukrainian picked up an injury earlier against Liverpool. The Standard Sunday understood that he is set to face Southampton on Friday. Arteta said that it was a muscular issue in the match at Enfield last week. He struggled a few minutes and we assessed him, and he wasn't fit enough to play against West Ham. Let's be honest. Without Zinchenko, we missed the control over the midfield. We definitely missed the control over the midfield. We missed Zinchenko yesterday, and hopefully he can come back very soon. We know what's going to happen with William Saliba, and let me just show you guys. This is it right here. His current target is the last game of the season. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens there. We're going to be waiting and seeing what happens there. We're waiting to see what happens with this. There's no update until there. But for now, I bid you guys adieu. With that, let's now go into the transfer news. The transfer news is crazy because Declan Rice stuff has been going nuts. The last 24 to 48 hours, we've been seeing so much Declan Rice to Arsenal, Declan Rice to this, Declan Rice to that, Declan Rice this, Declan Rice that. The reality is Declan Rice is going to join Arsenal eventually, I think. I think Declan Rice will be joining Arsenal. But the reason why people are going crazy over the Declan Rice stuff is because Declan Rice collects kits, right? So he added Martin Odegaard's kit to his kit collection yesterday. Declan Rice is a kit enthusiast, and he collects a lot of these kits across the country. And whenever he plays a team or a player, he gets them to sign it, and he collects it and has it on his wall in his game room. And Martin Odegaard's kit is just another one of those kits that he added to the system, right? But the rumor is Declan Rice to Arsenal is going to happen because we've seen pictures of him with Martin Odegaard. We've seen the video with him with Zinchenko, and him and Arteta shared a moment after the game where they weren't hugging like last time, but this time they were shaking hands. And I just think Declan Rice to Arsenal is going to happen. And I'm not saying it because of this. We also had Jamie Carragher yesterday say that Declan Rice is more than just a rumor. Declan Rice to Arsenal is more than just a rumor we heard. So with that being said, Declan Rice to Arsenal is something that I think will happen. Will it happen at the beginning of the window, end of the window? How it will take place? We'll have to wait and see. But at this moment in time, we've been hearing about Declan Rice rumors for so long that we just have to wait and see how much it accelerates once the season begins. Because we know that Arsenal have been huge admirers of Declan Rice. Declan Rice wants Arsenal so bad. I'm 100% convinced he is coming. Declan Rice is being chased by City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea. The thing is, Man United, Chelsea, he might go to, but Chelsea are not in a good state. He doesn't want to leave London, so that rules out City and Liverpool. Arsenal seem to be the best choice for him, and he gets straight into the Arsenal midfield, in my opinion. KT out. I'm sorry, you're not a winner. Ooh, that's harsh. Since when? Since when is KT not a winner? I'm confused. We play Champions League campaigns in the Premier League. He wants to compete in the Champions League and compete in the Prem. He won't do that. You know what? He might not do that at Liverpool and Chelsea next season because they're not going to be in the Champions League. But you never know. You never know with Declan Rice. I think it's a thing where we're going to have to wait and see. But let's now go on to the next one because this stuff here is weird. There's some weird stuff going on. There's some stories that just don't make sense sometimes. Some stories don't make sense. Arsenal are linked to 2 strikers, and these striker links don't make sense to me. Would you guys sign either of these players? Because I don't know. I don't think I want either of them. Klopp is a huge admirer of Declan Rice. Klopp is also a huge admirer of Martinelli, but he's not going to get him. It's just the reality. So let's look at this. Arsenal identified 2 targets up front on current for an update on current forward Balogun. Okay, so first update on Balogun. Fabrizio Romano thinks that reveals big investment in Balogun ahead of summer. You know what? I think Balogun's leaving. I think Balogun is leaving. And I've even seen reports that Balogun will be leaving Arsenal from a lot of people. But this one here makes me sick. First of all, Dusan Vlahovic. Arsenal are keen on Dusan Vlahovic and have Everton's Dominic Calvert-Lewin as another option under consideration. Now, is this a plan B type player? What are we doing with this type of deal? Like, why are we continuously looking at these 2 guys? Is this just media speculation at this point? Because I'm sick and tired of seeing these names every single time that we do a story. We see these 2 names, and it's like, I'm getting sick of it. I'm really getting sick of it. Stop it. It's not that I'm annoyed by the potential signings of those 2 guys, but it's just like, I don't know the validity of these deals. Every single day, Dusan Vlahovic, Declan Rice. It gets boring after a while. It gets extremely boring after a while. Ollie Watkins would be a better shout than Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Sorry, guys, I'm not feeling so well. But yeah, that just don't make sense to me. It just don't make sense to me. We're going to continuously be linked to these guys, and they're just not of the standards, in my opinion, with Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But Vlahovic is very highly rated, and he's a very highly rated player at Juventus. But of course, he did burn that bridge, I think, when he moved to Juventus in the first place. And I don't know if we're going to go back in for him again. I just don't see it happening. I don't see us going back in for him again. Now, moving on to Balogun. I think Arsenal are ready to accept a £30 million bid for Balogun, and there is a bunch of clubs that are interested in Balogun. So let me just show you guys what is happening with him. Egal, have you got COVID? Question mark. No, I don't got COVID. Egal, would you rather get Zaha on a free than these 2? No, I don't want Zaha either. But look at this with Balogun. Everton, Brentford, Wolves, Crystal Palace set to join the race for Arsenal sensation Balogun. Sources reveal that Balogun wants guaranteed time at Arsenal, which he is probably not going to get. So he wants a permanent move in the summer. Arsenal accept a bid for 30 million if the 21-year-old is pushing for a move. European clubs like RB Leipzig, Marseille, Lyon, Villarreal, and Sevilla are also monitoring Balogun's availability. Now, there's 2 things that we need to read about this. 30 million for the 21-year-old sounds a little bit low, but understandable because we're not gonna garner too much money. And how much is he really worth? So let me know what you guys think. And is 30 million too little? And with all these clubs in, I'm hoping that we can get a bargaining. We can get a bidding war. So maybe we can raise the price up to like 45 million with add-ons. So 30 million plus 15 million in add-ons would be a sensational deal. And I think I'll take that in a heartbeat. Let me know what you guys think about that. All right? But yeah, people talking about Zaha. I don't know about Zaha. Vlahovic is a goal machine. He was at Fiorentina. But you know what? I don't think he's been as good at Juventus. That's the thing. 30 million for the top striker is low. But what you also have to understand is we have to have some conversations over that French league, because Alexander Lacazette is the leading goal scorer at this point. Let's have a conversation. Is it actually as good as we think it is? Arsenal's greatest squad in 20 years go trophyless. Bullshit. Season's not over yet. Is the season over? Are we in May or are we in April? Come on, football. Where are we now? Season's not done. Season's not done. Arsenal should replace Balogun with Weghorst. He'll only cost 3 million. No, we don't need Weghorst. We don't need Weghorst. We don't need Weghorst. Come on, stop the BS. Stop the BS. But yo, people, we're gonna wrap it up there. I'm gonna be back later tonight with a call-in show talking about the league. Is the league over? Have Arsenal bottled the league? We gotta talk about it. But for now, I'm gonna leave you guys here. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think about everything going on with Arsenal. There is a couple more stories that need to be floating about that we could talk about. But let me know what you guys think about those stories that are floating about, and if you guys think that, if you guys agree or disagree with those stories. But yeah, stay tuned. There will be more Arsenal content coming out very, very soon. For now, I bid you guys adieu. Hopefully, you guys have a good day, and I'll catch you guys at 10:30 with Daps and some of the people on the call-in show to discuss the league title race. I'm out of here, people. Peace.